your #1 procrastination tool on the internet behind internet porn. I'm Justin LeBar. He's Josh Eisenberg down in sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Josh, let's talk WrestleMania main event. I'm going to ask you the question. Is it it's become an event that's so long. There's so many big marquee matches and people and crossover of mainstream. What is the main event? And when I ask you main event, I'm saying what goes on last? What closes the show down?
This is interesting, Justin, because if you would have asked me a year ago what it would be, I probably would say, something with Roman Reigns, maybe John Cena and The Undertaker, which that match is actually going to happen, where The Undertaker's streak was broken. I'm going to throw a wild card at you.
Oh, boy.
Charlotte and Asuka.
Get out of here. Stop.
Tell me why not.
Stop.
Tell me why not, Justin.
Brother, this is...
This year we've seen the Women's Royal Rumble. This year we've seen the Women's Elimination Chamber. This year we've seen, in the past 365 days, more revolutionary, groundbreaking women's matches in history. And WWE has been so adamant on fast-tracking this to make it 100% equal, 100% women and men on the same playing field. So, is there a... I'm not trying to get the women's vote, but this is the only match in my mind in women's history that could ever be important and close out WrestleMania. Ronda Rousey, this match for Ronda isn't that important, and Ronda next year probably isn't going to be as important as Asuka, somebody that WWE has built years and years upon to make the undefeated streak important. The undefeated streak in New Orleans, interesting. And Charlotte, who is a flair, and she is the SmackDown Women's Champion. So tell me why, aside from your usual, this could be The Undertaker's last match, well, we don't necessarily need to see The Undertaker's last match go on last at WrestleMania. They didn't do it for Ric Flair. They almost didn't do it for Shawn Michaels, so why would we need it for The Undertaker?
Well, first off, if you have The Undertaker fighting John Cena, and I could see this being the last one, it does need to be last, and I think it will be last. All right, back to the Charlotte Asuka. I will agree with you on one point. This is, because of the way they've built Asuka, and they've stayed committed to her from NXT now, and then now on the main roster, and then for what Charlotte has done and who she is. Yes, this is the most qualified women's division match I think WWE's ever had that could be even considered for the final spot. Here's the problem, and let me stress this because I'm going to get all kinds of comments of LeBar. The feminists are going to come out.
You're sexist, LeBar.
I'm sexist. I'm
you prefer men over women. That's apparently what you're saying right now.
Make sure nobody...
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Make sure nobody trims this. Make sure this makes all the edits that go to social media. Make sure you include this. LeBar is not saying he agrees with. LeBar is just pointing out the reality. Disclaimer. I enjoy Charlotte. I enjoy Asuka. I'm going to enjoy the match. But the reality is 75,000 people are going to be in the Superdome, and 75,000 people, everybody that watches WWE, all of them are all invested in the male performers. Not everybody is invested in the female performers. So by putting that match on last, you are going to put those ladies in a situation where they're going to have, I don't think they're going to get. They wouldn't get a fair shake, basically, from all the crowd. I sincerely mean that. I'm not saying that I would oppose if they tried it. I'm just saying if you're asking me from a business standpoint and a logical booking standpoint, I just cannot buy that going on last.
Well,
and I got Katie Arquette's still here in the studio, and I can feel the death glare coming at me.
Because she's smart. But here's what I'm asking you. You're saying that the crowd, the fans at WrestleMania, it wouldn't be a fair shake for them. But isn't like the smart fans and the fans that pay hundreds of dollars at WrestleMania, aren't they the ones with a more open mind of having women's wrestling take over?
I mean, some of them,
right?
Smart or whatever.
It's not like they're in Little Rock, Arkansas, where not many people care about women's wrestling. This is everybody around the world. And I would say more often than not, 70–80% of this crowd actually cares about women's wrestling. Look at WrestleMania 32 2 years ago with that triple threat match. People were invested in that match. Now, I'm going to go out and say that I think this has a chance to. It probably won't. But if it does, it's hard to argue that it should not be the main event of WrestleMania. With a lackluster build from some of these matches, the only one that I could see, like you said, is Cena and The Undertaker because we've never seen that before. But if this is really Undertaker's last match, again, you saw him go out WrestleMania last year. With the gloves off and everything. It put a sour taste and a sore look on him. So what's the point of ending it again on another somber note? Why not put history at the end instead of being sad? Maybe The Undertaker's not coming back.
Difference being last year was sour and somber and what have you. This year, I'm predicting. I think it's going to be if Taker does lose, and he's an old school guy who wants to do. Him and Cena will probably argue over who does the. They probably both would like to lose, but somebody's got to win. I think Cena will win. I think this one's not going to be somber. I think this one's going to be a celebration. I think this one's going to be he lost, and then I could see an embrace of he and Cena giving him the ring. And I think it's going to have more of a okay, this one really is it, and let's all just go out being thankful for what we saw. The other problem I have with Asuka and Charlotte is last. What goes on last at WrestleMania? Go through every WrestleMania. What goes on last is two people who can talk everybody in the building. And Asuka hasn't needed to, but that's not Asuka's deal. Asuka, and part of it maybe is the accent and everything. But so far, that's not part of Asuka's deal. She shows up, she kicks ass, she leaves. I just have a hard time not having two good promo people also in the. I don't know.
But the last match isn't a promo.
I know, but I'm saying by wrestling.
So what are you trying to say, Bar? You're not making any sense.
First off, you take shots at Little Rock, Arkansas. You're assuming people in Little Rock, Arkansas don't like women's wrestling. Now you got the entire. We're doing a CSR party in Little Rock, and we'll see how well we're received.
I'll make you a deal.
I'm bringing Katie Arquette, and I guarantee she'll be way more over than you are.
Give me 3-1 odds. I'll give you 3-1 odds. So you got to buy me 3 drinks in New Orleans, and not on Spirit's tab, but on your tab, that Charlotte and Asuka go on last over John Cena. 3-1 odds.
I'll give you 6-1.
How about 10-1?
They serve alcohol 24 hours a day. I'll bet the house with you. Whatever you want.
Okay.
What do you want?
I will gladly take your house in Pittsburgh. I need a place to go in the summer.
Meanwhile, you're dressing in pink like you're going to prom in Boca Raton. All right, we got more to come. Katie, Sam Adonis, don't go anywhere. Women, please forgive us.